Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone and well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Now, this video, I really made this lesson for new brothers coming into the truth. You know, the reason being is because I see a lot of brothers going through a lot of, turmoil with their women or with the kids or, with people in the world in general, or with their, with jobs that they're losing or that, that they're torn between their job and, and the truth and things like that. And, I just got a simple message, which is, counting the cost, you know, um, this truth is going to cost you a lot in the world, you know, um, you're going to lose more than you gain inside of the world, man. But to think about it in a spiritual manner, you are losing what you have in the world to gain the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and it is as simple as that, but there is a complexity there, you know, there's a lot of times where you're going to lose jobs, you're going to lose women, you're going to even lose your children, you know, and hell, there might be times where you might even lose your own life, you know, but you have to keep in mind that this is all for the good of, of you, the world, and this is all for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is a part of our refining process to gain the crown, to gain the kingdom, to gain the whole world as it was created for our sakes, you know. And I wanted to remind brothers of something like this is not this isn't a sorority, this isn't or a sorority, this isn't a fraternity, you know. This isn't all fun and games. This is serious business. And there are going to be some moments where, you're going to lose some things, There's going to be times where you have to bite your tongue. There's going to be times where you have to just, take it and lie down, you know. And there's also going to be times where, you have to do what you have to do, whether it be making videos, whether it be, recording out in highways and byways, uploading the videos, things of that nature. You have to really take a hard look at yourself when you decide to put your hand to the plow in the truth, and it's not wrong to ask yourself like, hey, can I do this? Or, or man, this is what I'm going to do, but I have to make sure that I can do this, I have to prepare my mind mentally for everything that's going to, for anything and everything, and this is one of my favorite scriptures, a perfect scripture. I've been talking a little bit too much. This is Luke chapter 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sisters, yea. Now this isn't physically meaning, hate your father, hate your family. I mean, even though it could, because your family 9 times out of 10, your family isn't going to be down with the truth. They are not going to be down with the Lord. They're going to be Christians or Baptists or Catholics or Muslims, and they're not gonna be down with the Lord. So you're sooner or later you're gonna have to distance yourself from them. Now, that's not meaning, you have to hate physically, like I hate them, meaning you have to just have a distaste for them. You have to dislike them. You have to discommunicate yourself from them. You can still have love for your family, and there is gonna be family members that you actually hate, But guess what? These people aren't going to be for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, In his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And it says hate your own life, man. Because when you look at your life is insignificant in the eyes of the Lord, because you're not doing anything constructive, meaning that you're not doing anything for him. You're doing everything as a creature just walking on the earth, man. It says he cannot be my disciple because you have to be willing to give up these things because these things will give you up, in the sight of the world. So you have to be willing to give these things up and make the ultimate sacrifices for the Lord, man. And whosoever doth bear his cross, I mean his burden, and come after me, it's like whosoever doth not bear his cross, his burden, and come after me, cannot be my disciple, you know, because that's part of your burden, forsaking things in the world like your family, your life, you know, giving up that dream you had of being a rapper or being being a singer or being an athlete, you know, because there's things that are it's greater than that. That's greater than yourself, you know. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, you know, meaning sufficient planning, just like an architect when he sits down and he draws up blueprints for a new building. And now when he goes to build it, he can't build it by himself. So he's got a plan. He's got a budget. He's got to pay workers. He's got to get the certain type of skilled workers. He's got to buy the materials. He's got to buy the plot of land. You know, so he has to make sure he has everything together so he can build this building. You know, which is exactly what we're building in Yahweh Shai, man. Less happily after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it. So now he laid the foundation, but now his plot of land isn't big enough, or he doesn't have enough materials, or his workers quit on him. Now they're gonna laugh at you like, dang, you decided to build this building, but you don't even have the resources to finish it. It's like in the truth, like, man, you decided to jump into the truth headlong, full blast, and you don't even have the mental capacity to handle, certain things that's going on in your life, or certain thing that's happening to you, or certain people that's leaving your life, you know. And now you're falling off the truth, running after your woman, you know, because you never thought or kept in the back of your mind that you could lose her for the sake of the Lord, you know. So now you're being mocked. It says, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king, going to make war against another king, sitteth not down first, and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? You know? So now you're a king going to war. You have to get your troops together. You got to get materials. You got to get food rations, tents, you know, shields, hammers, axes, swords, bows and arrows, you know. And you can't fight an army of 20,000 people with 10,000 men unless you got skilled warriors and you have enough materials and weapons, you know. Or else, while the other is yet a great far off, he sendeth an ambassador and desireth conditions of peace. Now we're saying, oh man, now I don't want to do this. This is way harder than I expected. I didn't think you were going to have 20,000 men. That's essentially what you're saying when, what guys say when they fall out the truth, man. Like, damn, I know it's going to be like this. I know I was going to lose my woman. I know I was going to lose my job. I know that you're going to take my kids away from me. Oh man, I know I was going to get locked up. Man, this is crazy. I can't do this. You know. So this scripture is serving as a warning, man. You have to actually sit down and think and weigh your life in a balance, and actually think like, man, you know, I'm gonna be going through this. I'm gonna be going through this. I gotta prepare myself for this, man. Scriptures say when thou comest to serve the house of the Lord, you prepare yourself for temptation, man. So you gotta prepare yourself for what's about to happen, man. For what's going on, for the spiritual thing that you're about to witness, for certain prophecies to come to pass, for just your family leaving you, that's prophecy coming to pass, It says, so likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple, So you have to give up this life, in order to be with Yahweh Shem Shai, because this life is nothing but of Satan, you know. Prime example, Peter and was it Peter and Simon? They were with their father, and the Lord walked up on them and said, "Look, follow me." And they dropped the nets and left, just like that, man. You have to have that mentality with the world, Okay, yes, I have this job, I got this car, I got this woman, I got this family, but in the back of my mind, you have to think this is all vanity, can all be gone in an instant. The knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and Yahweh Bashmi Shai is forever, man. You know, because one thing you have to understand is that it's prophecy that are, your family, your friends, those you know in the world are not going to be peaceable with you when you come into this truth, man. You know, they're going to be against you. They're going to gnash their teeth at you. They're going to talk bad on you. You know, they're going to cast your name out as evil. They're going to disconnect you from their company and ostracize you. You know, this are all things that a man of the Lord has to endure. This is part of the reason why the scriptures say endure unto the end, because we have to go through all these things. This is part of the burden or the cross. Think not that, this is Matthew 10:34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Now the word variance means at difference, imbalance, against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. You know, because they're going to be at odds with each other. Why? Because of that spirit of division, which the spirit of truth brings, man. You know, you got black and white. People say that there's gray areas and there's you know there's what do you call it, equilibriums, things like that. No, it's not, man. It's black and white. With the Lord, there's black and there's white. If you're not against him, if you're not with him, you're against him. You know. So hell, if you're not cold, you're hot. You know. So and these are those, the mother against his, I'm sorry, the man at variance against his father, the daughter against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. They're going to be divided because of the truth. There's truth and there's lies. You know. Part of the family's going to believe lies, and part of the family's going to believe truth. You know. And that's going to be the dividing line against the two, man. Even if it's between just you and the rest of your household, you know. That brings the next scripture, verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. You know. So you're going to be fighting with those in your own house, man. Over what? The truth, man. Because they're going to stand on believing a bunch of lies and tradition that they've been taught their whole lives. You know. And the Lord is going to choose you, or he's going to call you into the truth, you know, to defend the gospel. And those are the first people you got to defend the gospel against, your own family, man. And that should put things in perspective for you, you know, that this world is not worth being around. You know, the people in the world aren't worth being around. This world isn't worth living in, except for to serve the Lord. It says, he that loveth father or mother more than me, he is not worthy of me. You know, meaning you choose your father over the Most High, or your mother over the Most High, man. You know, you have respect of persons towards your father and mother, man, when it comes to the truth. Now, these are your father and your mother, so you have to respect them and respect their wishes, you know. But you don't have to go along with the traditions, with the eating abominable foods, you know. You have to go along with that, you know. You go along with that just because it's your father and your mother. That's respect of persons, man. That means you love them more than you love the Lord. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. For example, celebrating Christmas and Halloween and all that jazz just so the kids can have fun, man. You know, that's loving your son and daughter more than the Lord. You know, you have to totally disconnect yourself from that, man. You know, you and your whole family if possible, and if not your whole family, then disconnect yourself. You know, that's that, and then if that happens like that, that's the cross you have to bear. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. Right? You found your life in this world. You became, you sold out and became, a big time rapper, whatever it is your heart desired. And you didn't want to follow the Lord. So now you're going to lose your life physically, man. You know, you follow after the Lord and lose your life in this world, meaning you give up everything, and you shall find your life in the Lord. And hopefully be resurrected, man, as part of the elect. You know, that's what this is about. And who you really can't be around those that are not like-minded. You know, especially those who don't believe in the truth. They believe in lies, man. You can't be around them because the scriptures will tell you that the conversation of the wicked is irksome, man. You know, Amos 3:3, can two walk together except they be agreed? And the answer is no, man. You know, If two people do not have something in common, you cannot uh you cannot be together with them. You know, you can't be friends, you can't be acquaintances, any of that. You know, you can't even be coworkers. You only, buddy buddy with the coworkers at your job because you work at the same place. That's something you have in common. You know, but when it comes down to the truth, you don't have anything in common with the rest of these people, man. That's why the scriptures tell you to seek out thee that it should be of like mind, man. Be around brothers, be around fellow men in the faith, man. You know, because that's gonna become your new family, man. The scriptures, Yahweh I told the disciples, he told they said, hey, look, your mother and your sisters and your brothers out there, they're hollering for you, they want to talk to you, and he told them like, nah, they're not my family. Whoever follows the Lord is my family. You know, that's how you got to start thinking, man. Because believe it or not, the time's going to come to pass where they're actually going your biological family, the people you know in the world, are going to give you up, man. You know, the people at your job, the people that that you acquaint yourself with, are going to give you up. To this government to be put to death, man. And you're going to realize that the brotherhood is all that you have. You know, because we're the ones that truly understand each other because we're going through the same things in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is 2nd Ezra 8:51. It says, but understand thou for thyself. So yeah, I get it. I understand you're trying to save your family, you're trying to, save your little brother, and you're trying to, but the reality is you can't save them. You can only understand for yourself. That's what scriptures say, but understand thou for thyself. And seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So you're going to seek out the glory of the Lord for such as be like you, man. Like-minded in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's for the elect. For unto you is paradise open. It didn't say unto you and your cousin and your sister and your brother and your father and your mother. It says for unto you. You receive the truth. You worry about yourself and getting the knowledge and understanding yourself. If Lord see fit, he calls them to the truth, man. But other than that, you have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. It says, for unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The knowledge, man. The time is come to come is prepared. Plenteous is made ready. A city is builded and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. So the kingdom of heaven, the knowledge and understanding is given to you at this moment. That's why Yahushua spoke to the Pharisees and scribes in parables, man. And when the disciples asked him, they said, man, why do you speak us down in parables? And what did he say? He said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. It wasn't given to everybody. So you have to focus on yourself. And you have to understand that there are things that's going to happen in this truth that you have to endure, and being ostracized from the world has to be one of them. Yahweh Shai was ostracized from the world. All the prophets and priests of old were ostracized from the world, because the world, like I said earlier, man, they will give you up. Because you have to remember, in the everything is reincarnated. And there are those that believed in the Lord from the very beginning, which will be those who have the truth. And there are a great number more of those that did not believe in the Lord, man. That actually gave the Lord up to be killed. And the prophets, man. Those same spirits are back now today. In the bodies of your loved ones, man. In the bodies of your friends. This is Matthew 23:31. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Now, this was speaking to the Pharisees and scribes. But this can be likened to all Israel, man. Because there's 2/3 of Israel who didn't believe in the Lord back then, man. And they were screaming, crucify him, crucify him. Let his blood be upon us and our children, man. They even cursed themselves. So Yahweh Shai can be put to death, man. 2/3 of our people were a part of that. So 2/3 of our people now will be a part of that. And to be honest with you, your family has a greater chance of being part of that 2/3 than a part of the 1/3, man. You have to keep that in mind. It says, "Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? Ye snakes, you know, you snakes, you untruthful, you know, you devious. How can you escape the damnation of hell? Or damnations, you know, destruction, man, which is the thermonuclear missiles. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify." Now, this is in the book of Matthew. This has already happened countless times. People, prophets and scribes have been killed and crucified, you know. And back in Yahushua's time, they were still killed and crucified. And now today, they shall be killed and crucified, man. And the Lord is sending us unto our people, man, and we're going to be killed and crucified, you know. And some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city, you know. And your family's going to be a part of that, man, you know. I'll share something. Chill. My family thought I was the devil. Which, how can you be the devil with the Bible in your hand? But when the Lord first woke me up, I was so aggressive, I guess, was what it was. And my family thought I was in a cult. They thought I was worshiping Satan, you know? Which that shows you the disconnect between our people and what truth is, you know? And that's the first thing people start hollering. "Oh, he's in the cult. He's in the cult. He worshiping Satan." That's the first thing people start yelling, man. Not even understanding. And you also be persecuted from city to city, man. Now we're not being persecuted, but when that time comes, we will be persecuted like Paul was, man. He was being persecuted city to city, being chased by lynch mobs, man. That's what's going to happen to us. And you have to have the mental capacity, and the faith to know that you'll deal with this and get through it. That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. So the slayings, the prophets being put to death, the being persecuted, that shall come upon this generation, man. This is for now. So this is going to come upon you, man, if you're in this truth. This isn't meant to scare you. This is meant to prepare you for what's to come. Oh Jerusalem, you know. Now, Jerusalem meaning Israel, Thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are set unto thee, So all Israel took part of this, man, in some empire, in some time. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathered her chicken under her wings, and ye would not? So the Lord's trying to gather together the house of Israel, and you got some baby chickens still trying to run away. They still running away. They biting the hand. That's what 2/3 of our people is like. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. It says, "For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord." So they're not going to see the Lord, man, until they say, like, "Man, here comes a prophet." But that's not going to happen. That's why the scriptures say they shall know it through death by pain, man. And that's part of the reason why you are to hate this life, man. This is Ecclesiastes 2:17. "Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. For all is vanity and vexation of spirit." Now you start to when things start to get in perspective, and you start to see, man, all these people got demons on them. They hate the Lord. They hate me because I hate the Lord. I mean, they hate me because they hate the Lord. So I can slip up the tongue. But they hate me because I love the Lord, and they hate the Lord. They hate me because I'm calling them out on all the lies and the hypocrisy and the abominations. Man, this can't be a world. This is like a nightmare. When you really think about it, this is like a nightmare. And you start to hate this life, man. And the more you hate this life, the further and further it pushes you towards Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. the more and more we want deliverance and salvation. It's Philippians 3 and 8. It says, "Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahweh Shai Mashiach my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahweh Shai." You know? So you're supposed to count all things like, man, you know what? I don't care about that anyway. You know? I mean, we're men, we're humans, we have emotions, but at the end of the day, really you think about him like, man, you know what? That was expected. Ah, man, she flaked on me. That was expected. You know? Oh, well, my daughter hates me now because of lies my baby mama been telling her. Well, that was to be expected. I still want to be a part of my daughter's life or part of my son's life, but hey, if I can't, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm over here doing the work of the Lord. That's how you have to think about things. You know, I just wanted to give new brothers, some type of perspective on what this is really about, what's going on. You know, so with that, that's the end of the lesson. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Kodash, double honesty, the apostles and elders of the great millstone rule well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, posting the word and truth and in sincerity. Shalom.